So, chivalry is dead. Things like tradition are dead. Spirituality is dead. Romance is dead. Connection is dead. And I think society's lost its mind. That's my personal opinion. Well, why is this? Well, why is it getting worse? Well, it's my opinion that we're more connected than ever, but yet we are not for some reason. I read a book recently. Yes, I read books, but yeah, I read a book recently by I can't remember his name now, but he said men have ideas and women create. So men build things and women create things. So women have kids, and so they come to um, they already have meaning. But men have to actually build something. Men actually have to find something to do. They actually have to find meaning. And it's by the book was about it's psychology and stuff like that, and it was pretty good. I'll have to um, find the author's name and I can bring it up. Um, right now, I'm just doing these live broadcasts because I have to um, learn how to speak in public. So this is a good tool to do so. But so chivalry is dead. Tradition is dead. Spirituality is dead. And what can you do about it? Well, there's several things you can do, but one thing you can do is you can question stuff. Start questioning people. Start questioning ideas. Stuff you hear about on TV, you can start questioning that, saying, well, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't, or I share a different opinion. And you can just, question stuff that you hear. You don't have to believe everything you hear on TV. You don't, you can have your own opinion, your own mindset. You don't have to go along with what everybody else is doing. So there's things you can do. We don't have to go down this road. You don't have to go down this road if you don't want to. It is a choice. It just seems like there isn't a choice, but there is. But most people just go along with what everybody else is doing, and then and there's a cool something that I write about a lot is the hive mind, which is if you feed a group of people certain information, eventually they'll start believing it, and eventually everybody will start believing it. So I write about this a lot, and it's about behavior modification. And if you feed people a certain bit of information, eventually you can control society that way. And that is what's going on now. It's subtle, it's gradual, it's stealthy, so you don't notice it, but it's there. and you know, it's not going to get any better anytime soon. And in fact, it's probably going to get worse. But you don't have to go along with what everybody is doing. You don't have to go along with what other people are saying, what other people are doing. You don't have to feed into that um, thought. You don't have to feed into that mindset. You can go your own way. Hi, Shannon. How are you? You don't have to go along with that. You can go your own way, and you know, but so yeah, I'm going live, and I'm probably going to start going live a lot more, just because it's a good way to learn how to speak in public and share ideas and do something different instead of just conforming and going along with what everybody else is doing, basically. Um, I got up and I said, yeah, I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing. I'm not going to go out and fall into that trap of what these other people are doing out here. Like, I'm just done with it. So, and plus, I write a lot of stuff, and I have a website now, and I'm going to continue to write different articles. You can go to bales.com. That's my pen name that I write under. You can go there and you can sign up for free. You'll get a daily article in your email, and I'll talk about different things that's going on that I believe. That's my opinion. What's happening in society and how insane it is, and why it's eroding, and basically, and why it's not sustainable. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, Western society, and I talk about this a lot on my website and stuff like that. Western society was the greatest society. America was the greatest society ever built, and it's a shame what's happening. That's what I talk about. It's an absolute shame that we're resorting back to tribalism, that we're going back to the old days before law and before order was put in place. We are going back to a time of just tribal instincts, of just straight up chaos. I mean, that's how it was before Western society was created. Before Rome was built, that's all you had was tribalism. And that's where we're heading. We're going back down that road. So we're going farther down the rabbit hole, to quote the Matrix movie. We're resorting back to tribalistic instincts, and the people who are going to have to suffer for it are going to be the middle class people who are going to suffer for it. The elite are not going to suffer for it. The people who run society, run information, who run the digital hubs, they are not going to be affected by it. The people who are going to be affected by it are the people, are the middle class people. They're the ones who will have to deal with society, to deal with the people that are going to be insane and who are going to be rioting in the streets because they have meaningless lives. And those are the people that are, the middle class is going to suffer for it. And until you wake up and see what's going on, you're not going to know why things are the way they are. But the elite, the ones who actually control the networks and control information and control the digital hubs, and once you can think a certain way, they are not going to suffer. They are going to be fine. They're going to be in their neighborhoods. They're going to be behind their gates, behind their fences, and they're not gonna be the ones affected. It's gonna be the people who are the middle class people, the people who are actually, out there that are gonna suffer for what's coming down the road, at least in my opinion. Um, so things like tradition and things like spirituality, those are non-existent now. Meaning is absolutely non-existent. Courtship, romance, things that used to be really great and were existent before, were valuable before, those are no longer valuable. Those don't exist anymore. People don't really court people anymore. They just hook up. They go on the online, meet whoever has the best pictures and hook up. Like, that's literally what's going on. I mean, when I was in high school, we didn't have smartphones. Now, I'm not saying smartphones are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the internet is bad. I like the internet. I don't like the behavior modification part of certain internet services. But I am for the internet, and I'm a fierce advocate for free speech. I'm a fierce advocate for internet free speech, for the use of the internet. I think the use of the internet should be free, and everybody should have access to the internet. Everybody should be able to say what they want to say, and that's what. What I'm not for is the behavior modification, the manipulation, the controlling of people and what they see and do, and the profitability of these companies to manipulate people is extraordinary. I mean, the people who run these networks, they benefit. They not only benefit, they saw the fastest fortunes in history. So the Facebooks, the Googles, those people, they got the largest mass fortunes in history and are incredibly wealthy. And so again, I'm for the internet. I'm just not for this behavior modification that's been going on. That's my personal opinion. And I'm going to continue to talk about this. I'm going to continue to write about it because it's out there. When you go out in the world, you're going to see it. Not everybody's going to talk about it, obviously, but you're going to notice it when you go out there. So, it's good to know what is going on, and it's good to just understand a little bit about behavior modification and different things. I like Facebook. I like Google. I like these things. I just think we could have done it better. I think there could have been better alternatives. I think I still think it could be better. I think everybody could benefit from it, actually. I believe everybody could actually make money off different things on the internet of their own value and start their own businesses. But if everybody's on this, if everybody's on one network and just, consuming information, and everybody's thinking the same way, and then you can control society that way. And everybody believes a certain way, and women believe this, and men believe that, and if you're this color, you believe this, and if you're that color, you believe that, and that you can't run a society like that. You can't run a society and have groups of people pitting, against each other. It's just not sustainable. So, and that's what's going on. I talked to a girl the other day at the gym who was like, oh, why? She started flipping out and talking about, she thinks that she hates Donald Trump, and I don't want to get into politics because I don't like politics personally. But she started flipping out and saying that she only votes Democrat. It doesn't matter who or what is in there. She only votes Democrat. She hates people who like Donald Trump, and she would never go out with the guy because of his political beliefs. And I said, why do you think that way? And she goes, you know, and she didn't have an answer. She couldn't answer why she believed a certain way. And then she just took it as I was a Donald Trump supporter. And I said, no, I'm not necessarily a Donald Trump supporter. I'm not necessarily a Republican. The thing is I swing back and forth. Every 4 years I'll vote for Republican. And then if I don't like what they're doing, then maybe I'll vote Democrat. I told her, I was like, I am not extreme in any way. And I said, why do you think a certain way? Like, why would you only vote Democrat? And she just didn't have a good answer for that. And so, and I realized she's brainwashed. She's completely brainwashed, and she just, and I see her at the gym every couple of days, and she just so angry, I mean, just the look on her face, and it's the same every day, at the gym, she's just so mad and just so, but I see that everywhere. I mean, she's not the only one. I see that with guys, I see that with different people, and it's like, that's a result of behavior modification. That is a result of information being consumed. And so that's a shame. That's a shame that, people are just so hateful and just so angry nowadays. I mean, it's just sad. I mean, it's sad. It's really sad. I don't even like to go out anymore. I stay in my house now because if I go out, to a bar or a restaurant, even, like, I'll just meet these people and they're just so hateful, and it's just, you try to spark up a conversation with them in public, and they look at you like you're fucking crazy, and it's just like, this is just this was not the way it was before. During this was not the way it was back in 2000, during the turn of the century. This is something new. That's my personal opinion. You're free to disagree with me if you want, but it was different just a few years ago. Yeah, that's true, Jesse. That is really, really true. Yeah, I don't trust the government personally. But my opinion shouldn't be that rare. A lot of people should a lot of people should just be cautious about what they're being fed. But again, like and this is why I don't go out anymore. I don't go and try to socialize with people anymore, because it's like people are just so one-sided, and then they get jaded and they become jaded, and it's like then their perception changes, and their perception of you is just like shot, and so yeah, I don't go out and socialize anymore like I used to. I used to go out to the bars and try to socialize and strike up conversations with people, and it was just, now it's just getting so bad that I just don't even go out. I went down to in Knoxville. We had something called Asian Fest last weekend, and I went down there and went for an hour. It was like the first time I went out in public besides the gym in a while. It was the first time that I went to a public event where they actually had like a festival downtown, in a long time. I don't usually go to these places anymore, but I decided, what, I'm going to try it. We're going to go, we're going to go to a festival, and we're going to try to strike up conversations with people and stuff like that. And I went there, and I talked to a couple. I talked to one person. It wasn't really that significant, but for a little bit. But then, as soon as I went back to my car, there was a boot on my car, and I was in a parking garage, and the gate was open. I followed everybody in there, and my car was booted. Well, yeah, I usually do avoid politics. I don't like politics personally. I'm a neutral party, but I see a lot of stuff where everybody is thinking like one-sided, and it's like sometimes I'm just like, wake up. You need to realize that being an extremist is bad, whether you're left or right. Being extreme one-sided is not good. But yeah, I can understand why some people would resort to being an extremist. But anyway, yeah, I had a boot on my car, and I ended up having to pay a $70 fine for parking in a reserved spot, which I didn't even know was reserved. It was a parking garage, and the gate was open. And when I pressed the button to get the ticket to go into the parking structure, the ticket said it was out of order. So when you went to hit the ticket, it didn't come out. So I just was like, well, then where am I supposed to park? And so I just followed where everybody else was going and just parked. And it was just so many cars, so many people, and so and I only went for like an hour. And so when I got back, there was a boot on my car, like I said, and so I had to pay $70, and I couldn't move my car, so I had to immediately pay $70. And I was like, that is crazy. Like, that's why I don't go out anymore. Like, stupid shit like that is why I don't go out anymore. So, you know, um, so yeah, like now and the same thing with the bars. Like, I'll go out, if I go out to a bar or something and talk to somebody, like it'll just be like this strange like interaction, and either I'll talk to guys, no problem, but like a female, and I'm not saying every female is like this, but like they'll be on their phone and stuff like that, and you try, like, this is why I say chivalry is dead nowadays, because you'll actually try to talk to somebody in real life, and she'll be like on her phone or whatever, and then she'll get all weird, and so like I just don't even go out anymore. Like, it's just pointless. So I work, I come home, I go to the gym, and that's like it. And the rest of the time I write and work on my website. So and I'm going like that. So but I go to school online, so I don't go to like any school anywhere else. So and then like I think I went to Twin Peaks, which is a bar in Knoxville a couple of weeks ago, and um, anyway, there was this girl. She was dressed in guy's clothing. She was dressed in a suit, like a guy's actual suit. And I thought it was a guy at first. And she had really short hair. And she was holding hands with another girl. And this was as soon as I walked in the place. And she kind of sneered at me. And then she sneered at this other guy, too, that was sitting next to me. And I'm like, dude, this is why I don't fucking go out anymore. Like, this is so fucking weird. Like, seriously. Like, I feel like I'm in like some parallel universe or something. Like, I'm in some kind of strange Twilight Zone or something. Like, I went out and God, and the stuff, and then we went out. Me and a friend went out and smoked a cigarette, back patio, and just the stuff that was coming out of her mouth, like she was just like, she was like, she was talking to her one friend, and she was like, yeah, I was dating a football player or something like that. She was going on. He took me to um, Bermuda, and I can't wait to go to this place and that place, and with the guy, and she was saying it really loud and stuff like that. But she was dressed up like a boy, and I'm thinking, like, okay, maybe this is just an attention-seeking device. Maybe she's just, you know, seeking attention and stuff, because I know some people do that, and because I've read a lot about psychology, so I know a lot about psychology, and so that's what I chalked it up to. But I see so much of this, and so I don't, I stopped going to bars. I don't even go out to restaurants anymore because it's just pointless to me. So I just stay in now, and that's about it. Um, so. But all right, I'm gonna get off here. It was nice to talk to you guys, Shannon and Jesse. So I'll make another one soon. Thanks.